Hi again, welcome to another video, and in this video it's a revisit to a video I did a few weeks back. I fixed a Stihl blower and it was a quick fix. I put a new cheap carburetor on it. Well, after a few days that carburetor threw up an issue, so I go into it in the video what went wrong, so I'll wait till then to tell you. But before we get to that, if this is the first time you've been to my channel, please like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow, and if you could do that, it'd be much appreciated. And yeah, we might as well jump straight into the video and I'll tell you what went wrong and what I do to sort it. So we'll get on with that now. So here it is. You probably recognise it from a few weeks back when I took the exhaust off, checked the piston, and took the carburetor off and checked the piston from that side as well. And in the end, I'll end up fitting a brand new carb on it. Cheap carb, cost £14. All ran good, started good. I did have a bit of a job to prime it up for a start. You can see it's actually primed now there. I did have a job. I had to sort of move the machine around. Well, we were using it for a couple of days at work and all was going well. And then it didn't really run too low of fuel, probably half a tank, and then it wouldn't prime up. After a fashion, I managed to get it to prime up. But as I may sell this machine, I just don't trust that carb now. I don't trust it. That threw up a problem after a couple of days. So what I'm going to do is take a carburetor off of this one. This is another scrap machine I've had. Luckily, I've got another one. Because I broke the nozzle off the original one. So I have got the original carb as well. So I might even get the original carb and just use the top of that on the original carb. I'll see what I decide when I come to it. I've got the old carb on there that has got that top piece on it. And I have got the original carb as well. But that backing, air filter backing, is different. So I'm going to decide what way I'm going to go. But I've got a new diaphragm and gasket set. I'm sure it's the same, whether it's, I think it's only the top part of the carb that is different, the primer bowl part. So, yeah, I don't know what would have gone wrong with that. Whether it's just threw up a problem and it won't happen again, just sort of, you know, might got a bit of dirt or dust or something in there that caused a bit of an issue. I may take that carb apart and have a look, but I may just pack it back in this box and send it back and get my £14 back, because it's not a lot of money, but it's still £14 and the part isn't up to the job, because I just don't trust it now. So yeah, I'm going to get the carburetor I'm going to be using. I'm going to fit that new kit in it, and I'm sure doing that I won't have that problem, and I'll be with the original carb, a Zama, I believe it is the original one. And yeah, I personally think if you can save the carburetor on the tool, put a new diaphragm and gasket kit in it and keep your original carburetor on. They're much more superior than these cheaper pattern ones. They look the same, they fit the same. It's just, I don't ever think they run quite the same as the original carbs, and they're made very quickly and cheaply. So, you know, you haven't quite got the quality there. I do actually find these, this Vortex stuff okay. That's a diaphragm. I've bought Vortex stuff before and I've never had an issue with it. I've bought pot and pistons, or cylinder and pistons, sets and everything, and I found Vortex okay. So yeah, I'm happy to put that in it. So firstly, I'm going to get the carburetor off of this one and get that cheap carb out of the way, and then decide which one I'm going to put back on it. I'll go through this quickly. I'm not going to go too detailed in this video because I did it when I worked on it before, and I've actually got another video coming up as sort of my own one of these ones I bought brand new about 4 years ago. So there'll be a video of that coming up as well, but I just wanted to get this sorted so I can try it out this week, and then hopefully it's okay after I've done what I'm going to do today. So I'll just take this off. It's a little bit disappointing because I've bought these carbs before and I have mixed luck with them. It's about 50-50 to be honest. A lot of the time they do throw up issues. And the ones I haven't, I've found when I've used the tools, I've had to keep adjusting the fuel a lot until I get them right. But let's just try and get the old carb back on it and on this machine. Forget about that. And I'll probably, yeah, we'll send it back because like I said, it's no good to me. If it's not going to work properly anyway. I could keep it for spec I could keep it for spares. Filter's got to come out. There you go. I will take the bottom part of the pipe off just to get that out of the way, give me a little bit more room. And then we'll just take them two little nuts out there. And then hopefully we can get this carb cleaned out and done pretty quick and get it back on, and hopefully it runs well. At least I know the pot and piston's all okay. On this other, on the other one I showed you, the spares machine, the engine feels a bit seized on that, and also the coil is missing as well. So hopefully that's a good sign that it threw up another sort of problem rather than the carb problem. So I'm half tempted just to go with that carb and not use the original one that come off of this. This backing plate is different to the other one, because if you watch the other video, I had to drill a hole. But I can use the backing plate off the other one if I have to. I've got to get these this gasket off, then I've got to get the fuel lines off. They don't half fit on there tight though. Oh, I thought that was going to come off easier as I only fitted it the other day. No, I'm struggling again with these. Also I have to take this top handle cover off as well to get that throttle rod off. Not too hard to work on. But when you've done the job once, it fails because of inferior parts. It's a little bit irritating. You think you've done it and you've got to start delving back into it again. But it shouldn't take too long. So off camera I'm going to get them fuel lines off. It's just going to be a bit of a struggle to get them off. They grip on there so tight on this machine for some reason. So I'm going to get them sorted and I'll be back with you when I've got the carb I'm going to use on the bench ready to clean, and then we'll do the diaphragm and gasket. So there I have the carburetor off of the spares machine, and that is the air filter housing for it. You see that hole is already there. It goes onto there. There and there. Well, I should show you better. It goes into there. Well, on the other one, the original carb, where I broke the nozzle bit off, it didn't have that extra pipe. See? So that's why I had to there. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use this. I've decided I'm going to use this carburetor off the spares machine along with that part, the air filter housing off the other machine. So this is the carb I'm going to go with, and I'm going to clean this one out and put the new diaphragm and gasket in. So let's go on with this and clean this out. I'm going to go through this quite quickly actually, so you'll see a lot of it sped up. So now I've took the needle valve out and everything on that side. I'm just going to unscrew that, and then we'll be ready to give it a clean and then get the new diaphragm and gasket fitted in. And now everything's been cleaned up, I'm going to get this needle valve back in. I'll just balance the spring now, or try to anyway. It's in there, and then I just, where are we? Do that like so, and then just drop that in. If you can see okay, but you've probably seen me do this plenty of times before. A little screw which dropped in there the wrong way around, or mini bolt really. There we go. We get a tool for that. it is a little Torx tool for that. I hope you saw that okay. My hands were probably in the way a bit, but I'll show you. Springs all working fine. You see the needle valve going up and down. That's that little Torx screw there. And there's a spring, yeah, you can see it's in place. So I'll just double check that for tightness. I think it was okay. Yep, that's all done. So now we can start getting this new diaphragm and gasket set on. This is pretty straightforward. Just the gasket on first. Then let's find that new diaphragm. There we are. Goes like that, with that bigger bit there going downwards onto the top of the, well, where the needle valve goes. So it's all in place there. Now I've got to try and remember what way this went round. It went that way round. Yeah. So we get that screwed on. They're pretty straightforward carb to do this too. Not very hard. Now I'll get this final part back on the carb. Easy enough, just a gasket on them two little dowels is sort of locates into place. Like so. And then I've got that on top of there. Just goes like so. So it's like that. And then just get the carb and I just hold the throttle at a little bit there. And then just sandwich it together like that. I do that, hold the throttle, because if you look, that's where the idle adjustment is. So as you're pushing it in, it gets caught in there. So if you just hold it slightly out like that, it'll allow it to go on nicely. So it's just a screw back in there. And then that's that carb done. Actually, the new carb was £14. I think the carb kit for that was about £6. So it's still more cost effective to try and repair your own carb. The only problem is if the diaphragm and gasket set don't repair it, then you are, yeah, you'd have to get a carb. But I always like to try and keep the original carb. But because I broke that nozzle bit on that one, to save time, I bought this cheap carb, but trying to save time has actually caused me more time on it because I've had to go back on the machine to fix it again. So yeah, so it wasn't cost effective or time effective, which would have been better off buying the diaphragm gasket in the first place and sorting out that nozzle breaking. But I did have a spares machine anyway, so I had this carb, so I would have been okay. So anyway, it's done now. So we'll get this back on the blower and see how things are. So the gasket is already in place. I think I'm going to push the fuel lines on afterwards when it's in place on here. But what I can do first is put the throttle rod on. They were actually different. I had two of them, the original one obviously, and the other one of the other machine. Well, this is the one here that went with this carb, so I'm half tempted to go with that. I can't see anything else is any different, so what I'm going to do, so that hooks in the little hole behind on the throttle arm. The ends are slightly different. If you look at that, slight little hook on that, so that will go into there, and that goes, must go underneath there, and that goes onto there. Let's just hold the carb in place and try everything. Don't know whether I like that or not, but it seems to be doing the job. But I'm just going to try the other one just to see if that's any better. I don't know whether there's any different in length or anything. I'm going with the original one that come off of this. I just like this one better, so I'm going to use the one that I was using in the first place on here. Just seems better to me. Yep, no, I'm just going to go with that. So I'm quickly going to put that part of the handle back on, like the cover part, and then I'll be back with you and we'll get this carb finished. And also off camera as well, just push on the fuel lines as well. There's the top one just there. So I'll do them and I'll be back with you after I've done them. So I'll just bring back in here before I put this on. That, like I said, it's got the hole that goes straight onto that pipe there. So yeah, there was no drilling or anything on this. Ah, there is a gasket though. I'll just get that gasket in place. Just like so, and then get that in place, and then all we have to do is put the two nuts on, which I'll do that off camera. There's one there and one there, one there. I'll do them. Then we just put the air filter on, which is actually different, the air filter on this. It's like that. The other one was like that. So yeah, it's like that, the other one. This one's like that, or the sort of cartridge type one. So yeah, this is one that will be going in here. It's actually okay, I'll just blow that out, that's okay. So yeah, I'll just get them two nuts done, and then I'll put the other bits back together. I only got to put the air filter back on and the recall, and then I'll be back with you. I'll get all that done, and then we'll try and start it up and see if it's any good or not. So it's all back together. I haven't put the end bit of pipe on, that's the only thing, and let's see if it primes up well. Yeah, prime straight up. So that's a good sign. I'm going to try properly tomorrow at work, but I'll just give it a quick pull over now just to see if it fires up basically. I won't let it run for long because it's quite late. So I'll just see if it, yeah, runs and sort of ticks over. And then I think I've probably done it, but I'll properly test it out tomorrow at work. So I have just started it up, took a few pulls. I'll just pull it over now because it's already started. Just probably had to draw the fuel up, even though it primed. Probably had to draw the fuel up a bit. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's sorted that. It did prime straight up with the new diaphragm and everything in it, so that's all good, and it seems to run and tick over okay and blow out okay. There isn't actually much adjustment on these because they have them little caps on, so you know, you've only got a little adjustment on them. I don't like to take them off because that's how it's meant to be, but if you did take them off you would have more fuel adjustment, but that's how it's sort of set. You haven't got much movement, and it's the same with the carb on there. The new one, the cheap one, didn't have them on, so yeah, you've got a lot of adjustment on there, but yeah, I don't like to take them off unless I really have to, and this is running okay, so I shouldn't have to take them off. So I'm going to try it at work, try it for a few days just to check it's priming and running okay, and hopefully that's proved my point that the cheap carb wasn't really much good, to be honest. It did start to prime again, and did start again, but then it started misfiring and messing about, so I could take it apart and have a look, but to be honest, I'm better off really returning it and getting my £14 back because it wasn't fit for the job as it should have been, and just, yeah, get on with it, because I've fixed it and it's got a proper Yamaha carb back on it now, which it should have, not a one that looks identical to a Yamaha carb but isn't a Yamaha carb. So yeah, I'll be with you tomorrow when I'm trying it out, and I'm pretty sure this will be a done job now. Wish I'd have gone this way in the first place, but yeah, it was. I would have done actually if I hadn't broke that nozzle. I would have gone this way in the first place. It was just I went in the house, saw the carb was reasonably cheap. Thought, yeah, that'll save a bit of time. But now, yeah, like I said earlier, it's going to take me a lot more time than it should have done. But anyway, yeah, I'll leave it there, and you'll see me tomorrow trying it out.
So as you just saw, it's priming well, it started well, and it's running well. And yeah, now it's got, as you saw earlier, a genuine Yamaha carb back on it, which has been rebuilt, as you saw earlier. And yeah, it's all good now. So my advice would be, if you can rebuild your original carb, your genuine original carb, do that. Because I've had, yeah, it's hit and miss with these cheap carbs. And to be honest, lately I'm having more misses than hits, to be honest. So it seems a good idea, but then sometimes it lands up costing you more time and more money as well, because then you have to land up buying a diaphragm kit or whatever for your original carb. So yeah, so that's my advice. So yeah, this is okay now, I'm happy with this, and yeah, it's running well. So I'll leave the video there. So thanks for watching, and I'll be along with another video again soon. So bye for now.